everybody. Thanks again for subscribing for those of you who have. I think everybody has who I've invited to this channel, all 13 of you, and I really appreciate it. So in this video, what I'm going to do is show you around Val D'Orcia. Val d'Orcia is that section of Tuscany south of Florence that you see on all those posters and pictures when you want to think about Tuscany and about Italy. It's that fields and the hilltop towns and the cypress trees that go down the driveways to the little villages and things like that. So I'm going to show you how Florence and its tour companies visit that area, and then I'm going to try to make it my own. So I hope you enjoy. So the Val D'Orcia is that area of Tuscany that's been the focus of so many postcards, and it's dotted with medieval castles, hilltop towns that have ancient villages, gorgeous farmhouses, and isolated homesteads, and of course, all those roads that are lined with cypress trees. So the cities listed by the tour companies coming out of Florence are Montepulciano, Pienza, and Montepulciano. Most of the tour groups hit all three cities for one short stop each, and they sample the cheese and the wine and then they leave. Some actually have tours that include a lunch. But if I'm going to go to these towns, it's going to be to do one city at a time so that I can take my time exploring. So the area where these cities are located is about 70 miles south of Florence, and because they're hill towns, there's obviously no train station close by, but they can be accessed by a train-bus combo. Of these three cities listed on the common tours, I'm going to concentrate on one. I'm going to concentrate on Montepulciano. When I click on directions in Google Maps, it looks like it takes a slow regional train and then a bus. So the trip would take 3.5 to 4 hours just to get to the city. And that doesn't seem like it's the best use of my time, especially if I want to have time for a leisurely walk around, explore the museums and the shops, and have lunch, and get back to Florence in a decent time of night. One option is a private driver. They're very popular in Italy and they charge around 35 euros an hour. The drive would only take about an hour and a half, and that time savings versus taking a 3-4 hour train and bus ride each way is definitely worth it. Now, if you're wondering whether or not renting a car is an option, well, it probably is, but I prefer the less stressful option of a driver so that I don't have to navigate driving by myself and not being able to look at the countryside while I drive. So if I'm going to concentrate on one city, let's dig into what some of the websites say about where to go. Piazza Grande is located at the highest point of the city and looks like a great place to start. It's the main meeting place of the town's citizens normally, and according to the website TravelAwaits.com, this piazza was actually featured in the Twilight movie series Blue Moon. There are 3 classic Italian churches in the city. The Montepulciano Cathedral was built in the late 1500s. The oldest church in the city is the Church of San Augusto, which was founded in 1285 and restored again in the 15th century. And the third church is the Church of the Madonna, which was built in the 1500s and is considered a masterpiece of Italian Renaissance architecture. Now, this little church is down on the hill below the city, and it's a great place to see on your way out of the city, actually. There's a history museum in the city that is housed in a 14th century palazzo that used to belong to a local aristocratic family. There's paintings and artifacts inside going all the way back to the 8th century BC. Strolling down the main street, which is called Il Corso, there's plenty of beautiful buildings, including additional palazzos where some of the wealthiest families and most powerful citizens lived back in the day. But unfortunately, these are not open to the public. But Il Corso also is home to many cafes and bars and restaurants and shops. And one cannot go to Montepulciano without trying or buying some of its famous wines. Vino Nobile di Montepulciano has been a long preferred wines of kings and nobility and religious leaders in Italy. There are wine shops all around the town that actually have cellars below the street level, and they can give you a tour and a tasting. And one of my main reasons for going to Montepulciano is actually going for lunch. So there's tons of restaurants, even a Michelin star restaurant in the area, where you can find their local specialty, which is a Florentine arista, which is a pork with rosemary, fennel, and sage. And then there's picky pasta, which is believed to have been invented in Siena, and now can be found in the restaurants here. And it's a thick spaghetti noodle made with water and flour, and is often served with tomato sauce and grated Parmesan cheese. So I hope you enjoyed that video of how I'm going to get myself to and from Montepulciano. It's one of those cities in the Val D'Orcia area south of Florence. And using a driver, I think, is going to probably be the best option, just so I can get there and enjoy myself and not feel rushed. And I think it'll be definitely worth the money. And I've been looking forward to going to this city for a very long time. So I hope you enjoyed what I researched. And if you have any questions or comments and want to see something else, by all means, shoot me a comment and I will look into it. So for my next video, I think I want to explore the Lake Como area. I know that's obviously very, very popular, and in November it probably will be very empty, so I'll probably have the place to myself. So I'm going to see how easy or hard it's going to be to get up to that area and see if it's worth a visit. Hope you enjoy. Thanks.